Hey guys, in this screencast, let me move my camera over just a little bit. In this screencast, I'm going to be working on a site where we are replicating an existing site. The design we're replicating, it's not all that, but the job for us right now is just to replicate it. Then we can do things in Elementor. And one of my team who's new to Elementor has just started working, and they know a little bit of CSS and those types of things. And I'm coming through as just on the back end and sort of fixing some things, coming in and looking how things have been set up and showing you perhaps the Elementor way to do some things. And so here's first off, one of the first things that I see. We've come down to this website footer, and you notice that we've got some links. We've got these different menus. First off, we've got Nav menus. And so I'm checking this out, and I notice like we probably copied over the design of like when you hover over these get bigger. In fact, I'm going to reference this website real quick, if you'll allow me just to take a look at the original website. Yeah, okay. So we're perhaps changing the design a little bit, getting bold when you roll over, those types of things. But first off, I see we've got this dotted dash line, and here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm actually going to turn this off, and so now there's that. Now let's just sort of see what we've got through the widget itself, as far as ways that we can do it. So you've got padding. I'm gonna get rid of this real quick. Let's see if I get rid of that, and I'm gonna turn these things off because it didn't really get us anywhere. So turn off our padding right there. Now let's look at this thing for our nav menu. We've got style, and so we've got our drop down. Let's see our toggle. Let's check this. What we want to do, for one thing for sure, is this doesn't need to actually collapse. It's going to, if on mobile, the way we've got it right now, this is going to collapse to a hamburger button. And so we don't need it at all. We'll just have it stack on mobile because this is a little 3-column layout. Now, so we've turned off our breakpoint. That's a key thing that we've done right there. Now let's take a look at this thing. So our layout's vertical. Our pointer is none. Now, we could do this. Let's do this. We're going to change. So I bet they looked at that, and that doesn't make sense. I don't think. I understand. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to use that underline. So I gotcha. I gotcha there. I see what you're doing. All right. Now let's go back to style, and we've got topography, hover. So for hover, is this thing? Let's check this thing. So our pointer is set to none. Our submenu indicator is set to none. But like, oh, let's see. Where are we getting this? What it's telling us to, oh, we've got that topography. Is our font, that's interesting that we're getting bold. We'll have to see I don't know where I'm getting this from, the hover. And so we've got some vertical padding. Let's try this, do this a little bit more. Now, I'm gonna update this real quick, and I'm gonna pop open a new tab, and we are going to check out this site. And just we're going to get some CSS selectors. So I'm going to open my inspector, and let's check and see what we got. So let's see, we've got the anchor tag, and we've got the list item. So that anchor, is that anchor set to, so it's interior. Okay, I see what we can do. All right, so let's do some things right here. Here we go. Let's go back to our advanced tab. Now, here's the thing. You see all this Elementor element, and you got this number right there? We're going wrong right there because Elementor gives us this special thing. It's called selector. You type selector, that's going to address that widget. It's going to actually create that thing right there, so you don't even have to look that up. So now if we want to do selector, and now let's address those anchors. And so we'll go in here, and let's see what she was doing. I see how you got a bottom on the menu item. So Elementor menu item. Let's check to see exactly what has that menu item tag. So it's the list item element. Here's what we got to do. We got to change these things. Watch this. So you notice I've got these anchor tags. Let's do our style like this. Let's do, I think those, they've got padding. You see we got padding on those things. So we're going to set padding to, first I'm going to do this background, and we'll set it to that. Let's see. Let me set my background color. Are you going to do that for me? E. There we go. So now you see that, and that is on the anchor tag. So if that's my anchor, and let's set, margin to 0. Okay, it's not there. We don't have any margin. Padding to 0. There we go. So okay, so that's what we want. So I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so that's good, such that we could roll over that thing. Okay. All right, that gets us. Now let's check this. Let's figure out what's actually giving us that. Where's our bold text coming? Computed. So we're going to do. So there. Okay, actually, I'm going to change this. I know you can't see that thing. E90. There we go. All right, just something so we can see where we're working. All right, computed. We're going to change to hover, and so that gets us bold. Now let's see what we get. Where are we getting this bold text from? Let's see. Cursor, auto, display block. It's computed. Let's see what this is. Let's move me over here. Font weight bold. Where's that coming from? Elementor. You know, that may be a site style. Did you do that? Let's see. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open another tab real quick. Let's do that. Open a new tab, Blues, and we're going to go to our site. Now we're going to check site settings, and let's see what we got on here. If I go to, did we do any custom CSS here? All right, so I see you're setting some H3s, and here, let's standardize this too, by the way. Let's do this so it's easier to read. There we go. All right. So I see that, and oh, let's see, you've got padding left, margin. Ooh, I don't like that it's different. A lot of times you can standardize on that, and you don't do bad to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and update that. So I see that you have not said anything there, but let's go in here and do a little bit more detective work. So topography, your links, hover. Let's check this. There it is. Let's get rid of that. This is not a good setting, I don't think. I don't want bold. Anytime I roll over a link for it to be bold. So I'm getting rid of that you set there. So now we figured out, okay, that was just a global setting that you had. Now we're going to go back and view the page. So now, I mean, we might make them underlined or something like that, but as far as, I don't think we win by having them become bolded down there. So let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's go back and check these things out. Okay, so now selector A, and let's do this. Let's do. So you're doing it on the menu item, and we'll try it. Border bottom dashed. Okay, so border bottom 1 pixel dashed, and let's do FFF. All you have to do is 3 if you know. Anyway, I could explain hex later, but we don't have to put 6 in there. So there's your border bottom dash. Also, you see how see how they've got too much space above the deal right there? Now they're even. I think that's going to give us a better look. So now border bottom is dashed. And now all that, like here, wait, let's see. Are you trying to replicate the style like where you're getting it? Yeah, don't worry about, like, you see how they got it on their original site? I think we're improving things if we just do it without sort of trying to pixel perfect right there. So I'm just going to go back, and as a design choice, I'm going to leave it right there. Maybe we'll pull it closer and a little bit less interior padding. But then the only other thing that we need to do, so now I think that's all we need. We don't need the rest of that. And so I'm going to update that. And let's take a look at our footer now. Okay, so there it is. And so what we can do is, if you want one on the top, do you want one on the top? I mean, that matches what they got. We don't need to, let's see, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. So that's all you need to do. We get rid of all this other CSS. And there we go. It's pretty simple right there. Now we're going to go into here, get rid of our breakpoint. And now let's come in here and get rid of all that. There we go. Now there's that. Also, there's some, I did some, let's see, if we look at this thing, vertical padding, set it to 10. So get rid of this stuff. All right, now let's go back to our vertical padding. And see, what we're trying to do here is just simplify how we've done all this stuff. We didn't have to add as much CSS, and we just sort of went in and let things work as they should. Now, let's see. I'm going to update this, and I'm going to refresh, do a hard refresh, and see if I get rid of that let's see. Yeah, now our, okay, there we go. Now, as far as, let's do a hover state for this thing. And I'm going to go ahead and, okay, on this nav menu for hover, let's switch it around. So like, what are you doing for your typography? If I just, so like, let's see, on hover, I don't see anything. If I reset it, yeah, I just hit reset so that it doesn't have anything. So, okay, zeroed out. Now, main menu, typography, and then your text color and your hover. And then here's what we do. For our pointer, it's going to be called background. And now we can actually go and set the background color on hover. So here's our pointer color. So now if we want to do something like this, let's go in and, I mean, yeah, we can just set it to white. So now when we hover, it's like that. Now let's set our text color. Do we have that primary? Now we just invert the thing. There we go. I like that. You like that? I like it. Okay. So now we've done that. Now let's match what we're doing over here. Set our pointer to background. Now let's do this. All right. Now we're going to go in and set our text color on hover to primary color. Our pointer color is going to be, we'll just set it to white as we put it right there. Now there we go. Now we match. There we go. All right. I like that. And we've sort of helped things out right there. Let's just go ahead and check on this, see if there's any funky settings. Looks good on that. I have no idea why we're doing that. Let's get rid of that. Let's just take it how it gives it to us. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Now let's see if we're doing any, yeah, no custom. Okay. So now, cleaned up. We removed a lot of extraneous CSS. So here, we just done the cleanup on the footer. All right, now let me check something. So you got this white line. Does that match what they're doing? Yeah, it does. So they've got that nice little funky action going on right there. All right, let's check down here. Return to the top of the page. Okay, cool. I see my designers made a note. Return to the top of the page. Need a plugin? I think, no, you do not need a plugin in Elementor. And let me show you how we're going to do this. And so we will do this. Return, let's see what their thing says. Return to top of page. Cool. I mean, if you want to have, no, we can even get this little button in. We can do it all. Check it out. Let's see. We could do it such that, let's do, let me think about how we want to do that. Let's do this. So we're going to switch out our widgets. Let's do an icon, and icon list. We'll do icon list, and it's going to be a list with one item in it. Get rid of it. Do that, that, and that. We're going to go here. If we're going to replicate what they're doing on their site, granted, this is not the, when you start seeing this site throughout this screencast, it's not the nicest looking thing, but our job is to just, we're taking a site that was built in a Genesis theme, and we're moving it over to Elementor. We're just building it with the Hello Elementor theme. So let's see. Does that thing, yeah, it just is at the bottom of the page. It's stuck down there. We could do something that floats in Elementor, but for right now, we're just going to replicate that thing. Let's find it up. So let's see, what do we want to use for up? We'll go ahead and do that. We'll insert that. Now we've got that right there. Now we'll color this out and return to top of page. Is that what they say over there? Return to top of page. Cool. It is. I also want to check you on this. Yeah, see how you type that all caps? Don't ever have to do that. That's actually a CSS setting. So check it out. We're going to do some things. So this icon, let's set the color to, we'll use the white in the palette, and we're going to set the, let's set the text. Set this thing to white. Now, if you want to set text to all caps, it's typography. You can do this through CSS, but here in Elementor, you've got this little palette, and we'll use it just to sort of do the Elementor way of things. So text transform is going to be uppercase. There you go. Gives you flexibility there. Since that's a setting you can turn off with CSS, you don't have to go off and retype it if you ever want to return to that. Now let's make our icon a little bit bigger so people can see it. Make that to 28, return to top of page. Now let's link this thing, content, return to top of page. Let's make us a link like this. I'm just going to go hash top. Do hash top. I'm going to get rid of this and go there. Now, let me go ahead. I'll save this out. Now we're going to go back and view the page. Here we are, pardon me. All right, so now we're going to edit our header. Check this out. The way all these links work is they're just referencing an ID of an element. And so if we put top as the CSS ID, it's going to scroll back up. Now, in general, things don't necessarily work that way. Elementor has a scroll to script that it can use that's going to, if you name an ID and then you link to it with a hash, it's going to go to that thing. And so this is going to get us back to the top. So now I'll show you. It should work for us. So if we go on the home page, for example, and if we scroll down, and if we click return to top of page, there you go. Now, let's do a couple of other things. I saw some more things we want to do in the footer. Let's see how we set up. If we go to the bottom of the footer, I'm going to check this guy right here. See him? Let's see how our text is set up. So we're going to look over here. Oh, yeah. See, that's hard-coded. No, let's not do that. Lewisburg water, wastewater. Lewisburg water and wastewater 2021. Nope, because see, then we're going to have to update it. We don't want to do that. Nah, I ain't got time for that. So let's go in here, and we're going to choose a dynamic tag. Check this out. We need to choose a site tag. I had a guy that was working for me, and he would always choose post date right here and do what I'm getting ready to do. If you do that, it's only going to correspond to the date of the thing, of the page that it's on. So like he'd say, why is my year wrong? And it was because he's setting it at post date. You got to come down here. You got to set it to the site. And what you do is you say current, date, and time. Check this out. Now we're going to come in here and specify the date format. It's going to be custom. And what we want to do, you see that's like that down there. That's month, day, year, hour, minute, and AM or PM. See that down there? Now we're going to come over here and say year. Okay? Now it's going to be just the year. And you're like, well, that didn't give us all the things we want. We want a copyright and all that kind of stuff. Cool. We can do before and after on this thing. There's our dynamic text, and we're going to go over here and set some stuff. So like we want to add the copyright symbol. I think that is Alt-G. It is. It's Alt-G on my Mac keyboard, and really on your Windows too. It's like Alt-G, I think, is typically what's going to type a copyright symbol. So we'll do that. We might type copyright. You know, that's how we do it sometimes. Copyright. And now we've got space 2021. Then we're going to go after, and we'll do Lewisburg water and waste water. Did I get that spelled right? Okay, so there we go. Let's check copyright. Blah blah blah. They've got a little dot. We could do, if you want to do the little dot instead. Copyright 2021. Now here we could do this. Let's do this. We'll make it really match. So we can do that. And then if you want that little dot, that's like a Alt-8 on your keyboard. There, matching. Now you're like, but the typography, the caps, we don't know caps. Remember I showed you that just a minute ago. We'll fix that here in just a second. And so let's go ahead and make it all caps. And I think I'm going to actually, let's see, do we like that font size at 11? Let's see, once we all cap it. Transform, uppercase. We'll take that. Now, here's the other thing we want to do. This paragraph, it's got like margin on the bottom. So let's get rid of it. Let's go to here and do, remember what are we going to type? Our magic selector, P, last child. So that just means the last paragraph. Since this has only got one paragraph in it, we could just address the paragraph. We'll do margin bottom. And we're going to say 0. Oh, does it? And it looks like. Here, let me move me right there. I think we're good. It doesn't really, that doesn't appear to have selector, last child, margin bottom. Let's check this. That's not doing anything. Did we have stuff set up here? No. Well, a lot of times, okay, forget that. Forget I even did that right there. Sometimes you want to set the margin bottom. I'm not quite sure what we got going on that. But anyway, we might find out later. So vertical align, set it to middle. There. Okay. Now, let's see. We'll make this thing. We'll reduce the font size on it. Make it a little bit less user-friendly. That's okay. All right. Topography. I had an icon list. Text. So if I set it, I could have sworn. Where did I set the text? The list, the icon, the topography. I could have sworn I set it right here. Didn't I set it right here? 14. 12. Okay. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just... So we'll set it to 12, or 12, right there. And we go back and probably set that other one to 12 too, to match. Our icon, let's get it a little bit smaller. Return to top of page. Let's set this guy to 12. All right. Okay. There we go. I think we've cleaned this up a little bit. Now, the other thing we probably want to do is, I'm looking at this thing, and like our page sort of sits inside this. I want to make these two things do the same. Like, who cares if they did it on this guy? I just do not like that. Let's just check it. We've got the power to change it. This might be a design decision to make right here. So let's do our layout of this section is, instead of full width, let's box it. There we go. That gets it like that. Now the other thing is this gradient. Let's see, is this a CSS gradient on the original? I bet it is. Let's see what it is. So we're going background color. It's linear background image, linear gradient. There we go. 90, 102, 136 to 0, 136. Okay. 91. I can't remember. 90, 102, 136. Does it let us? I forget if Elementor gets us this thing. So if I go gradient and I go, let's see. I'm going to need, let's get us some hex values for these guys. I'm sure you guys out there have a better tool to do this with. I'm just going to open Photoshop and quickly type in my RGB values. While it's loading, let's get us a cup of coffee, or get us a sip. Delicious. Okay. All right, so let's just create a new little document, and we're just going to have it in there so we can do some, and tell me again. Let's see, we got 90, 102, and 36. Okay, let's check out, see what the color, the hex values are for that. 90, 102, and, oh man, it's going to kill me. Is it 136? I think that's it. 90, 102, and 136. 90, 102, and 136. Okay, so now we're going to come in here, and just because all we're doing is we're matching this original site, so let's do it. Okay, so there we go. There's that. There's our top, our second color. Wait, this is weird. Why is my background not even really even doing anything? This is different. What's going on for this section? Not anything in there. So like location. Why am I not seeing anything for my background in this section? What is going on? Have you done something here? Style background, no. I'm really intrigued to this point. What's going on with my, why am I not seeing? Okay, we're going to update this, and now we're going to go check this again. Let's refresh, and let's see what our CSS is telling us. We'll see what we get. Now, background color, Lewisberg water. And so it's set to that. And I've got an Elementor background. Oh, you've set the background overlay. Why have you done that? Okay, another no-no. Let's get rid of that. Boom, there we go. There's no reason to set your background overlay unless you're actually doing something with the background. Let's get in here and fix this. All right, now we've got our bottom color at 00136. Let's go in here. 00136. There we go. So that's our bottom color. Like, right? Is that right? 00136. Okay. So grab it. So basically it's 008 is going to be our 3-digit hex. But anyway, go back here. And now we're going to go back here. And we're going to do this. Do that. There we go. Now let's fix this thing back. Let's go back to like 10. 10. Let's see where they had it. 10-ish. Maybe it's 5-ish. Go here. And stick that back here. There. Maybe it's just like this. And actually, we could actually model what they're doing. 0 to 200%. Oh, that's interesting. So let's see. So, okay, I'm going to keep it like that. That's good. And then our last thing at the bottom. Okay, yeah. Okay. So now, do we have this color saved? Do we have 0088? We don't. We don't, do we? And don't we use it more than there? There's that. And we're gonna save it. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna save this color. footer gradient bottom. Going to create that. And this one we're going to save, and it's going to be called footer gradient top. All right, so there's that. Okay, so now we got that. Okay, now let's do this. Okay. That guy, we just need to give him a background color, don't we? Let's make sure we don't have a background overlay. We don't. Good. Okay, now let's go in here, and we're going to go footer gradient bottom. Match them out. Now we have, look at that. Now we've matched this footer up, and I feel like we're in a better place as well. So let's say, I am going to do one last thing. Let's check this first and see how it looks down here. Okay, I want to give us a little bit of padding on the bottom of this thing, so let's do that. Let's make it look a little bit nicer. Padding on the top. So let's do 50. There we go. Let's refresh right here. All right. Okay, we got more stuff to work on for this site, and I think probably at this point what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and mercifully for you guys, I'm gonna stop this video, and you can see me on the next one. So this is going to be part one of a series of me coming in, and like our goal is I know it's an ugly website. Look, this is not the prettiest website you've seen, but our goal here is we're taking this site, which was built in Genesis, the Genesis theme, and the client, what we're doing is making it easier for the client to edit. So we are building this thing in Elementor, so we're going to be able to, it's going to make it a lot easier by the time we get finished. And so we're doing all the hard work of like making this thing, coming through and making it look the same. So basically the client sees like, oh, it's our same website. And I'm like, cool, yes it is. Here's how you edit it now. It's going to be a lot easier than the way that they were used to editing this site. So anyway, this is the end of part one. We'll see you next in part two as I tackle another part of this site. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.